Welcome back to Double Down University. I'm back at you guys with another KBO PrizePicks video, and I have 3 props for you guys that I like on tonight's slate. The first one being Guillermo Heredia over 2 hits, runs, and RBIs, as well as Kim Do-young over 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, as well as Park Min-woo over 2 hits, runs, and RBIs. So let's get into it. Let's start off with Guillermo's matchup. So he's going up against a pitcher in the Doosan Bears who has been horrible. His advanced numbers are horrible. If you guys been following along with my KBO videos over the last couple of weeks, you know my criteria on what I target, which is low K percentage, good walk rate, and then also a low left on base percentage. And he covers all 3 bases, as he has only a 15% K rate, so he doesn't strike people out. Has an average walk rate at 6.6, and then he also has a terrible left on base percentage, only 66%. His FIP score is horrible at 5.80, as well as his ERA minus is only 1.18. So, but the one thing about him that sticks out to me is that in situational, now granted he does do better against righties as opposed to lefties, but I'm going to trust Guillermo Heredia in this spot because he crushes righties. So I'm going to be trusting him in the fact that he will get the job done and be able to get a hit and score at least minimum. Now I went through his past game logs. He's at least pushed or went over this line of 2 in every matchup against this pitcher, or every matchup against this pitcher every time he's faced him this year. As I said, he crushes righties. He bats .375 against righties. So, and then he also has more home run power versus righties as opposed to lefties, and he's also almost double his RBI opportunities against righties as opposed to lefties, as he has 55 compared to only 24. So I really like him in this spot as well. Moving forward to Kim Do-young, I don't really need to talk about him too much. He's my favorite player in the whole league. He just kills every pitching, whether it's righties or lefties. He kills both of them. He bats .350 on the season, has a insane OPS of 1,061. And then he also has a insane on base percentage of 418. His WRC plus is electric, which is 166. The average is just 100 even, so he's 66 points above average in WRC plus. And he's just like in clutch opportunities, he kills the ball. Like I said, he crushes righties. He bats .260 against righties. And then also the thing I love about him the most, why I always take his hits, runs, and RBIs, because with runners on base he's batting .325, and then with runners in scoring position he is batting .324. So he knocks runs in if they're on base, especially if they set up in front of him to be able to be on second base. You know, he bats 389 against with runners on second base. He bats .333 with runners on third. With runners on first and third, he bats .300. So at least, you know, he's going to put the ball in play with 1 out to be at least get an RBI opportunity from a pop fly and bring that runner in to easily get 1 on his hits, runs, and RBIs. So I really like him, especially in this matchup. He faces a pitcher who's horrible. We just talked about the pitcher for Doosan's FIP score of being 5.80. His is 8.90, which is terrible. He doesn't strike people out, only 11% K rate. His walk rate is only 12%, so he does walk a lot of people. 12% is high for pitchers, so he does walk, so that increases his chances of being able to score as well via a walk and not have to get a hit. You know, if he walks twice and scores, you know, he at least ties or, you know, can go over. So I expect him to get a hit and maybe an RBI single along with that to go over. And then also, last but not least, Min-woo Park. I really like him. He doesn't strike out as much. He has a 15% K rate, has 11% walk rate, so he does draw a lot of walks. Now, granted, he's not a big power hitter, as that tells with his ISO power score of only having a 122 ISO power batting average. His batting average on the season is .337, so he hits for power. Hits for average, excuse me. So he puts the ball in play, contact. His WRC plus is above the average of 133. The average is 100, as I previously described to you guys. And then also in this matchup, now the only thing with his matchup is this guy can strike batters out, so he does have a pretty good K percentage at 22%, which is about average, league average. So, but they have him on PrizePicks to get 5.5 strikeouts. So, and he does tend to walk people too. So, he can put runners on. And then he also has a FIP score of 437, which is not bad. It's average. His whip is a little bit higher than average. Average is 1.30. He's at 1.50. His left on base percentage is 76%, so it is pretty good, his left on base percentage. But I do think if runners are on base, they will score against him. He does have a crazy reverse split against righties and lefties. He actually allows more contact to righties as opposed to lefties, as he has a 302 opponent batting average against to righties as opposed to 282 to lefties. So I like Minwoo Park to be able to do damage. And then also in his last couple games, he does crush righties. He bats 353 against righties. But in his game log over the last couple games, he's been at least getting on base. He had one game where he had one hit, and then game before that he didn't really do too much. But the games before that, he's been consistently getting on base with at least one hit and an RBI as well. And then in this game he had 3 hits, 2 runs. So I expect him to continue this hot run of form to be able to get over 2 or at least push 2. So those are my 3. So Guillermo Heredia over 2 hits, runs, and RBIs. Kim Do-young over 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. And Park Min-woo over 2 hits, runs, and RBIs as well. I appreciate you guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.